Good morning. Today we will talk about the bonds. We are Juan David Diaz, Diana Camila Chavarro, and Alejandra Bravo.
A bond is a fixed income investment instrument that represents a loan made by an investor to a borrower, typically corporate or governmental. When you go and buy a bond, you are essentially lending money to the issuer in exchange for the periodic interest payments called coupon payments and the return of the bond's face value when it matures. The main characteristics of the bonds: the issuer, that is the entity that issues the bond, for example, governments, municipalities, or corporations. Second is the face value, that is the amount that bondholder will receive when the bond matures. The three, coupon rate, the interest rate that the bond issuer agrees to pay the bondholder, usually annually or semi-annually. The fourth, maturity date, the date on which the bond expires and the issuer must repay the face value. Five, the yield, this is the overall return that the investor earns on the bond, considering the purchase price and the interest payments. The sixth, credit rating, an evaluation of the issuer creditworthiness, which affects the risk level of the bond. And last one, market price, that is the bonds that can be traded in the secondary market, and their price can be fluctuate depending on interest rates and other factors.
How do bonds work? Bonds function as loan that an investor grants to entity, government, or corporate in exchange for interest and repayment of the principal on a specific date. The investor buys the bond with act like a loan and the using entity commits to pay periodic interest like coupon and returning the principal and maturity. In detail, number one, using and purchase an entity, government, corporate, or municipality needs capital and uses bond to raise funds, offering interest payments or repayments of the principal within a set time frame. Investors purchase these bonds, becoming creditors of the using entity. Number two, payment flow. The bond user makes periodic payments, again coupons, and interest to the bondholder until maturity at the end of the term. The user repays the bond's face value, the principal. Number three, types the bonds. There are different types of the bond with varied characteristics and risks, such as government bonds, low risks, corporate bonds, high risk but potentially higher returns, and municipal bonds. Number four, bonds market. Bonds can be bought and sold in the secondary market before maturity, allowing investors to sell them pretty type of the bonds. Type number one, classification by user. Government bonds used by government to finance public expenditures. They are considered low risk and offer stable returns. Corporate bonds used by private companies to finance project or expansion. They usually carry a higher risk than government bonds but can also offer high returns. Municipal bonds used by local government to finance public projects such as roads or schools. Perpetual bonds, securities with no maturity date that generate interest continuously. Type number two, classification by interest type. By rate bonds pay predetermined interest rate throughout the life of the bond. Floating rate bonds pay interest that adjusts periodically based on reference index such as LIBOR. Zero coupon bonds don't not pay periodical interest index. They are sold at discount and the interest is paid at maturity. Other types convertible bonds allow the holder that convert the bond into shares of the issuing company. Exchangeable bonds allow the holder to exchange the bonds for existing shares of company. Just bond usually used by companies with low credit rating. They offer high returns but also carry a high risk of the default. Additional considerations: credit rating and monetary term.
What are the benefits of investing in bonds? Bonds offer a number of advantages, like capital preservation. Capital preservation refers to protecting the absolute value of your investment through assets that promise return on capital. Since bonds typically carry less risk than stocks, these assets can be a good option for investors with less time to recover from losses. The second one is income generation. The bonds provide a fixed amount of income at regular intervals in the form of coupon payments. The third one is risk management, where fixed income is generally understood to carry less risk than equities. This is because fixed income assets tend to be less sensitive to macroeconomic risk, such as economic downturns and geopolitical events. And the last one is investing in a community. For example, municipal bonds allow you to give back to a community. While these bonds may not provide the highest yield of a corporate bond, they are often used to help build hospitals or schools or improve the standard of living for many people. But what are the risks associated with investing in bonds? As with any investment, buying bonds also involves some risk, such as interest rate risk. When the interest rates rise, bond prices fall, and the bonds you currently own may lose value. Interest rate movements are the primary cause of price volatility in the bond markets. The second one could be inflation risk. Inflation is the rate of increase in the price of goods and services over time. If the inflation rate exceeds the fixed amount of income a bond provides, the investor loses purchasing power. The third one could be credit risk. Credit risk, also known as commercial risk or financial risk, is the possibility that an issuer may default on its debt obligation. And the last one, liquidity risk. Liquidity risk is the possibility that an investor wants to sell a bond but cannot find a buyer.